Hello everyone, today we will be starting with a new chapter, that is vector algebra, simple and easiest chapter. And one more thing, this is an important chapter. Total weightage of this chapter is 11 marks theory, okay. 1 mark, 1 question will be there, 2 marks, 2 questions, and 3 marks, 2 questions. So total weightage is 11 marks, and in JEE you can expect either 1 or 2 questions, and in the CET also 2 to 3 questions you can expect from this chapter, and it is easy one, okay. And this is useful in the engineering also. You will study this type of chapters will be there in the engineering also, that is vectors. I know that you have studied about vectors in physics, that is in the first PUC, right? Similar to that one, but here we are concentrating more on addition, subtraction and multiplication, but vector division is not possible, so we are concentrating on those. See, if I consider a physical quantities, okay, physical quantity, that can be divided into two parts, okay. One is the scalar, another one is vector. What is the difference between the scalar and vector? Scalar is nothing but it has only magnitude, right? If it has only magnitude, I mean length or something, if it has only magnitude, then it is called the scalar. Vector is nothing but it has magnitude and direction. So vector is nothing but which has both magnitude and direction, that is called the vectors. Now see here one object is there. Now if I want to apply a force on this, now there are many possible directions are there, right? Either I can apply a force along this direction, or this is possible, or this is possible, right? There are many possible directions will be there. So this force is called the vector quantity, I mean which has both magnitude and direction. Example for scalar, length, mass, time, those are the scalar quantities. Vector quantities you can give the example as displacement or force or acceleration, velocity. These are the example for vectors. I hope you understood this one. Vectors is nothing but which has both magnitude and direction, that is called the vectors. Now for example, if I consider a line, okay, now this is the directed line, okay, here this is a directed line, but here I cannot define a vector quantity. To define a vector quantity, I need a line segment. Line segment nothing but it has an end point and the starting point. Let me consider this is the starting point A, okay, and this is the end point B. Now here AB is called the vector quantity. Vector AB is vector because it has a magnitude. So we can find the length of this, right? So it has a magnitude, and again direction is also mentioned. So this is the directed line segment. Is it clear? So this is the directed line segment. Directed line segment. So here we can say that AB is a vector. So we will represent AB as AB vector, or we can write this as A vector. Simply we will write that as A vector. And here point A is called the initial point, okay. Remember, these are the important one. Initial, A is initial point, and B, the point B, end point is called the terminal point. A is the initial point and B is the terminal point. And one more thing, the distance between the initial point and the terminal point. The distance between the initial point and the terminal point, okay, distance between initial and terminal point, initial and terminal point is called magnitude of a vector. Is called the magnitude of a vector or length of a vector. Magnitude of a vector, okay. Magnitude of a vector is nothing but the distance between the initial point and the terminal point, and it is represented by modulus of AB vector. This is the magnitude of AB vector, or simply we can write this as magnitude of A vector, or you can write this as E. Is it clear? So magnitude of a vector can be written as, this is the magnitude or modulus of AB vector. Anyway, length cannot be negative, right? So magnitude of AB vector or A vector, or simply we can write that as A. That is, so the thing is, vector is nothing but which has both magnitude as well as direction, and it should be a C. This is called the initial point and this is the terminal point. Now we can say that AB is a vector since it has a magnitude and direction. Okay, and the distance between the initial point and the terminal point is called the magnitude of a vector. We will see what is a position vector. Let us consider a three-dimensional geometry. See, these are the axes. We consider this as x-axis, and this is the y-axis and z-axis. Okay, let us consider a one point P in space. Okay, let P be any point in space with the coordinates. Obviously, it will be x, y, z. Now, this is the origin O with coordinates 0, 0, 0, and here O to P will be a vector. Okay, OP is a vector. Now, what is meant by position vector? OP vector is a vector having a initial point O and terminal point P is called a position vector of point P. Is called a position vector of point P with respect to the origin O. Here OP vector is called the position vector. That's it. OP vector is called the position vector, and magnitude of OP vector, okay, length of OP vector is represented by magnitude of R vector. This is the usual notation. Okay, magnitude of R vector, or we can represent this as R. Now, can you say what is the length of OP? By using a distance formula, you have studied this, right? X, Y, Z, here point is there. Here origin 0, 0, 0. So R will be equal to square root of, by using a distance formula, x square plus y square plus z square, or modulus of OP vector. Magnitude of OP vector is equal to root of x square plus y square plus z square. So this is about the position vector. See, if it is any point A is there, here let us consider this is a point A, then O to A, this is O is the initial point and A is the terminal point. OA vector is called the position vector, and usually we represent this as A vector. Is it clear? OA vector is called the position vector with the notation A vector. Now we can find the distance between O to A by using the distance formula. It will be same here because origin to A will be there, square root of x square plus y square plus z square. Now we will move to the next concept, that is the important one, direction cosines and direction ratios. See here, direction cosines. Here imagination is very important in this chapter as well as in the 3D geometry. Okay, see here, let us consider a one point P in a space. Here you can see this one, here y-axis, and this is a x-axis, and this is a z-axis, and we'll represent this by, the length of this is x and length of this coordinate will be, y-axis will be 1 and length of z-axis will represent by z. So point P is with coordinates x, y and z. Now here O is the initial point and P is the terminal point, and we'll represent this as OP vector, or we can write this as R vector. Okay, OP is a, let P be a any point in space with coordinates x, y, z, and OP be a vector with initial point O and terminal point P. Okay, now this line or this line segment OP, which makes angle alpha with the x axis. Okay, the line segment OP or this vector OP vector which makes a angle alpha with x coordinate, x axis, and beta with y axis, and gamma with z axis. Is it clear? Let we have considered one point in a space with coordinates x, y, z, and which makes angles alpha, beta, gamma respectively with the axis x, y, and z. And here alpha, beta, gamma are called the direction and here angles alpha, beta, gamma are called direction angles. Direction angles. Okay, alpha, beta, gamma are the direction angles, and cosine of these angles, I mean cos alpha, cos beta, and cos gamma. Cosine of these angles, that is nothing but cos alpha, cos beta, and cos gamma are called direction cosines. Direction cosines. Okay. Here the angles alpha, beta, gamma are called the direction angles, and cosine of these angles are called the direction cosines. Okay. Remember this, and these are represented by L, M, and N. That is nothing but L is equal to cos alpha, and M is equal to cos beta, and N is equal to cos gamma. These are called the direction cosines. L, M, N are called the direction cosines. Now let us consider a one point A on x-axis. Okay, consider one point on x-axis, that is A. Now join P and A. Should be straight one. P and A. Okay. Already OP is there. Now we have considered one point A on x-axis. Join A and P, and now this makes angle 90 degree. You need to imagine here. Okay, here this makes angle 90 degree with the line AP and OE. Now here you can see, if I consider this is the point O and this is the point P. Okay, now this is the axis. This is the x-axis. Now we have considered one point A here or x-axis. Now if I join this, and this will be 90 degree. Okay, this is in space. You need to imagine here. See, this is a point P and this is origin. This will be R vector. Now we have considered one point A on x-axis. Now if you join P and A, which makes angle 90 degree with the OA, and already this angle is alpha, right? OP and OA. Here you can see this one, OP with OA, which makes an angle alpha. So this will be alpha. Now as I told you, so this x-axis, I mean this length is represented by x, right? Now this is x and this is R vector. Now by using this one we can define a trigonometric ratios, right? Here we need cos alpha. So if I write cos alpha is equal to, so this is 90 degree, this will be the hypotenuse, but this is angle alpha. So this is the adjacent, right? So cos alpha can be defined as x divided by length of this, right? Magnitude of R vector. So magnitude of R vector, is it clear? Cos alpha is equal to x by magnitude of R vector, or simply we can write this as x divided by magnitude of R vector can be represented as R. So cos alpha is equal to x by R. Similarly we can define cos beta. So clear? Cos beta will be equal to cos beta. This, I mean this angle we have considered as B, right? The line segment OP which makes angle beta with the y-axis. So cos beta will be equal to y by R. OP is same, the magnitude of the vector OP will be same, and cos gamma is equal to z by R. So these are called the direction cosines, or we can write L is equal to x by R. Okay, cos alpha is nothing but L, and M is equal to y by R, and N is equal to z by R. Now the point P of x, y, z is nothing but P. X is equal to L into R, right? X is L into R, and y will be equal to M into R. M into R, and z is equal to N into R. Is it clear? The point, this one is called the direction ratios. LR, MR and NR will be direction ratios. Remember this, the values LR, MR and NR are called direction ratios. And it is denoted by the letter A, B, C. I hope you understood this one. Okay. Direction cosines. Simple it is. The thing is, you have to remember direction cosines. Direction cosines is nothing but cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. Those are represented by L, M and N. That L is nothing but x by R, M is equal to y by R, N is equal to z by R. Then these values L, R, M, R and N, R are called direction ratios, and those are represented by the letter A, B and C. Okay. One more thing. See, if I consider now, can you say what it will be? L square plus M square plus N square. Important one. L square plus N square plus N square. L square will be, right? L is equal to x by R. So this will be x square divided by R square, right? M square will be y square divided by R square. And N square is Z square divided by R square. So we can write this as x square plus y square Z square divided by R square. Now what it is? X square plus y square plus Z square, right? Distance between OP, modulus of OP vector or R vector is defined as distance is x square, or R we can represent x square plus y square plus Z square. So the value of R square will be equal to x square plus y square plus Z square. So we can write this as R square, right? So it will be R square divided by R square is equal to 1. So the thing is, you have to remember L square plus M square plus N square is always equal to 1. Here L, M, N are the direction cosines. Types of vectors. First one is zero vector. Zero vector is nothing but a vector which has a zero magnitude. Length of that vector should be equal to 0. Then it is called the zero vector. It is represented by like this, zero vector, or A vector, or we can write B vector. I mean that is nothing but the initial and the terminal point of this vector will be same. If I can say one dot here A, initial point and the terminal point will be same. Such vectors are called the zero vectors. Second one is unit vector. A vector which has a magnitude is equal to 1. If it is a vector is having a magnitude is 1, then it is called the unit vector. If it is a vector is a unit vector, okay, I mean magnitude of this vector is 1 unit, then we will represent this as a cap. This is called the unit vector. Important one, okay. Unit vector is always represented by a cap. If I write b cap, is nothing but the magnitude of this vector will be equal to 1. Remember that. Now co-initial vector. Suppose two or more vectors is having a same initial point. Co-initial. See here. Co-initial vector is nothing but two or more vectors is having a same initial point. Then it is called the co-initial vector. Okay. Next is the collinear vector. Important one. Okay. Two or more vectors. Let me consider A vector and B vector is said to be a collinear vectors if it is parallel to the same line. Okay, these two vectors, to say these two vectors are collinear if it is parallel to the same line, I mean irrespective of their magnitude and direction. Okay, no need to consider your magnitude and direction, but these two vectors should be, I mean parallel to the same line, then A vector and B vector are called the collinear vectors. Next is the equal vectors. Obviously, this vector name only says equal vector means if it is two vectors is having the same magnitude and direction, then it is called the equal vector. Next, last one, negative of vector. Two vectors, if I consider A vector and B vector, okay, their magnitude should be same, and direction should be opposite. Okay, if it is any two vectors is having a magnitude say with the opposite direction. For example, if I consider this is A and this is B, okay, and here also I consider A, B. Here magnitude of, let us consider this, magnitude of this, I mean the length of AB and this AB is same, but direction of this will be A to B and direction of this will be B to A. I mean if it is any two vectors is having a length same, magnitude same, but the direction is opposite, then those two vectors is called the negative of vectors. We can write this as AB vector is equal to minus BA vector. Okay, AB vector is equal to minus BA vector. This is about the negative of a vector. In your textbook some examples and exercise problems are there. I mean you need to find which one, say which one is scalar and which one is vector. I think you can do that. Okay, do complete those exercise, and in the next we will move to the addition of a vectors.